Did Fortnite just figure it out? With the addition of Reload and now the updates to Ranked, it kind of seems like Epic might be cooking right now. If you weren't aware, the Ranked playlist got a major update recently. There are no longer any vehicles, no Nitro Fists, or NPCs that you can hire. This is such a monumental step in creating the right ecosystem of playlists for people that truly love playing this game. When Fortnite OG first dropped last year, it showed how many people really want to play the old chapter and relive old seasons and experience old memories. It really is no secret that nostalgia is the number one driving factor between so many successful elements in our media right now.
I miss being with you.
So I think it caught everyone by surprise when we found out that the OG mode was temporary. And even though Fortnite probably lost a ton of potential players they could have kept because of the removal of OG, the recent addition of Reload as well as the Ranked playlist update combined with Battle Royale means that there's something to play for everyone, and in this video we're going to go into why we might be hitting peak Fortnite again. If you hadn't noticed as of late, Ranked has fallen into near catastrophic numbers as so many players are choosing to play Reload instead.
What?
Well, let's be honest, some of the best people at this game are so good because they started playing back in Chapter 1. And now you're giving those same people the opportunity to go back and play the same chapter and map that were around when they fell in love with the game to begin with. They're quite obviously going to choose the expedited format. This collapse in numbers forced Epic's hand, and let's be honest, I think they nailed it. Ranked is the perfect playlist to minimize all those crazy gadgets, those tools and utilities that this game offers in order to help level the playing field for the average person going against those sweats. Ranked really should just be two players utilizing the most basic elements of a game in order to defeat each other. The definition of a one-on-one. It's no secret that the competitive scene in this game is both extremely important and a major part of what Fortnite is, but also extremely sensitive when it comes to changing the game at all. I mean, it kind of makes sense for people who spend all day working on their habits. People who are obsessed with habit tend to be obsessed with keeping their habits the same. That's why it's so important to have a playlist that allows for the best players in your game to play against each other with minimal interference. This is what Ranked's supposed to be: raw, real, zesty. Of course, now there's only one thing left for them to add: Siphon. Now, whether or not you want to admit it, pubs is the foundation and backbone of this game. But with the introduction of Chapter 5, it kind of feels like pubs have been put on the back burner. And don't get me wrong, Lego mode, rocket racing, Fortnite Festival, those are all really cool, but they're kind of the icing on the cake. And if we're being honest, icing is absolutely delicious, but if you ever had more than 2 spoonfuls of icing without the cake, it's disgusting. We all want that cake, baby.
No, I'm gonna throw up.
Season 1 gave us a brand new map, brand new graphics, a train on the map, new weapons like the hammer and the frenzy shotty, which seemed awesome at the start. But after a while, the hammer kind of felt like a knockoff pump, and the frenzy was just one of those weapons that was so OP, you kind of felt guilty using it. But once that new car smell wore off, we entered one of the weirdest times I've ever experienced playing Fortnite, and I've been here since Chapter 1, Season 3. We're all familiar with those last few weeks of any season where it feels extremely dry and we're just dragging our feet to get to the finish line.
We ain't found sh.
This time, that last 3 weeks was actually like 6 weeks, and as we had major hopes for Chapter 5 Season 2, it didn't get much better when we finally got it. First and foremost, no bows. Now, I might get some flack for saying this, but I think Season 2, in my opinion, was one of the most mishandled seasons of all time. How do you have an emote for someone using a bow from a historical season and not have bows in the pool? And the wings' movement, they just weren't fun to use. And then we got the Avatar collab out of nowhere, which to be honest, really only offered 2 good mythics itself. And then it became the waterbending season from hell. And I can honestly say no other weapon that I've ever used in the history of this game could do what waterbending could do. It was your shotgun, it was your mid-range, it was your sniper, it did everything. It just made the game feel extremely one-dimensional. Chapter 5 Season 2 felt like it was nothing but dying and winning with waterbending. That was really rough.
I hate it here!
But then we got Chapter 5 Season 3 with a huge emphasis on cars, and let me just say, watching streamers and content creators that morning play the game, it was painful. And not because the gameplay was bad, but because you could tell every streamer, every person, they knew this version of Fortnite would kill the game.
Just chunking pieces of my soul away to play this.
There is honestly zero doubt in my mind that if Epic hadn't nerfed cars and introduced boogie bombs, this would have been the end of Fortnite. And even though there will always be people who can't agree, this was one of the most universally confusing reactions to a season I've ever seen. But then it happened. The introduction of Reload might be the single greatest thing to ever happen to this game.
Great success.
Reload is going to allow players to decompress away from their current season while attaching themselves to nostalgic elements from the new mode. Every person who's on a path wants to be able to look back at certain points of their journey and relive those moments, gain access to those feelings, and feel the vibes of a time they once cherished. Cheesy, but true. Reload is exactly that, a time machine. It is a game mode that allows for players to experience time frames of this game when it was at its peak, or more importantly, when the game was peaking for that individual player. Now, what can we expect from Reload in the future? I think it's safe to say we'll all be pretty disappointed if Epic decides to take this away from us, but since you're able to get crowns, it seems like this is going to stick around. The obvious answer here is for Epic to rebuild these little mini-maps from some of our old favorite seasons from old chapters, and then just rotate through them. This is an actual layup. Kobe, I'm actually feeling this right now. If you're looking for a squad to play with, hit the Discord in the description. As always, hit that sub button and turn on notifications. Remember, go out there and do something great.